Good morning, welcome to a morning outlook. This is Kim speaking on Tuesday the 12th of October. So let's have a look at the risk events that are due out today first. And we've got the German or European economic sentiment and the German economic sentiment both out at the same time at 10 o'clock there. This can create a little volatility, but it's generally very little is the key word there. Job openings, where we've seen these coming through each month, and we've seen a lot of positive misses effectively. Not a great deal of benefit from having more openings. There is if you're looking for a job, of course, but these job openings have been getting wider and wider, and it's whether or not people will actually take them up, of course. We've got FOMC speaker is a voting she is a voting speaker at 4:15, so bit of late movement at as I say at 4:15 there. The bond auction later on, again bit of late movement potentially, but the FOMC speakers always create a bit of volatility there. Right, let's have a look at the bonds whilst I'm here, or yields, I should say. The yields have slipped down a little bit so far this morning. This is it was sitting quite high. I was expecting some sort of movement. Oops, let's just pop this onto a 5-day view. I was expecting something more of a movement. Of course, it was closed yesterday, and from today's sort of action, I thought we'd see a reaction. A stronger dollar with with yields up into these levels is often what we see. It's not necessarily been massively that way, but there's the signs are there. But if this was to come off here, where it gives the dollar a chance to pull back a little bit. At the moment, we see, if you come down to the currencies, we're seeing the euro. The euro is catching a bit of a bid at the moment. It's being bought. We've seen over the last, the earlier part of the week here, it's pushing through, ran into its 4-hourly 50 there, reacted again, ran back into the 50, reacted, and it's running up towards that 50 once more. Maybe we'll see a push through. I was talking yesterday about the higher lows that were coming through this market. Actually, let's go back to the 4-hourly. You see the higher low that was clearly there in the first place, and it pushed through. It was even on the hourlies at that stage. It was looking like we've got potential further upside. It's got a bit mixed now. It's just sort of dropped down, taken out one of the lows, giving us a lower high here in the short term. But it's very choppy, and that never makes an easy read. But choppy, pushing up towards maybe back into those highs there. A break of this area here would be a more significant bullishness, I think, now, because it would, again, from this more significant low here, it would give us again, if it breaks here, it gives another higher low, and it's just turning the corner a little more. Certainly not the easiest market. It was a very quiet market yesterday, to be fair, to draw much from. The pound, the pound pushed up at one stage there, made new high yesterday, but couldn't hang in. It's turning around a little at the moment. Whether this holds, we'll see. It's come back. It's done its weekly pivot. Done everything I'd like it to do, because I just like the stats all nicely, neatly ticked. Today it's got a daily pivot above. This level here is quite key. So if you're looking on the shorter side of the market, if it pushes into this area, it could well be a bit of a reversal point. It's worth looking for. You're looking for the bullish side. A break and maybe even a close above this area would give this sort of the green light, or at least an amber light, for more potential upside. Dolly Yen, it's quite a strong move back today. The movement it did yesterday was quite, let's just come back to the dailies there, quite solid. We haven't seen a big day like that for a long time going back. Strong old move up there yesterday, coming off at the moment, so probably some profit taking, but a bit of a change of focus maybe, but for now. But this could turn around again, although I was looking, there was a bit of divergence, sort of sliding through, and looking like it was going to be there where it came through into the early hours of the morning. It looks a bit soft. It actually put a little lower high in this early stage here, but then pushed up. and there is that divergence. Now it might just it's into its 34. This is the daily pivot below. That might just give it the support it needs to see a turn, but at the moment it just looks like it, to me, from this price action, the strength of this price action, it might have a bit more downside. Aussie dollar. Aussie's remaining stronger. Yesterday had a decent solid day relatively. It may just go that way, or iron ore high, other prices are high. It's commodity driven. It's pushing the Aussie at the moment. So long as that's all happening, it's a currency that's been sold off. Sorry, I'll come back to the dailies there. You see how, I mean, it's over the period. Come back to the weeklies there. It's been sold off for quite some time. So there'll be a lot of shorts on one side of this market, and you just wonder whether we'll see a bit more of a squeeze against those shorts. But for now, high lows, higher highs for sure on the 4 hourlies, dailies, 4 hourlies. It's just trying to sell off at the moment a little bit. We're just seeing a adjustment of this, a break below the 34 daily pivot would be a bit more bearish, although we've still got this sort of proper upward trend. We probably need to just sit the trend line across if I can do it. It's going to go. It's unusual. There we go. Let's just move that across a little now. Adjust the end here. So real line in the sand is, well, it's just below that 50 MA in terms of trend. It could just come down, find the support here and bounce again. To do that though, of course, it will put a lower high in, and it just softens it and makes it look a little weaker. If it can hold on to where it is and push up, well, the R1 could well be the next target there. That's 73.83 area, so it's got the potential as long as it doesn't fold over too much. You see, it's just gone back into its 4 hourly 500 there, so quite a significant moving average. Okay, that's the Aussie. Canadian dollar. So the Canadian dollar hanging in there yesterday, just a little turnaround, a little softening, but really with a bank holiday you can't draw too much into this. It's, to me, with the high oil prices, etc., it looks like it's still got potential to continue to the downside. And these sort of movements, maybe a break below the pivot, would give us the green light again for further downside. Okay, right, that's that. A couple other pairings then. Euro Yen, cross pairs, sort of pull out here. Looking soft this morning, failing. It looks like it's just, has it done it now? Yeah, it's given us a lower high in that previous hour there. So looking a bit soft. Daily pivot below initial target. Now, of course, you get these ABC corrections, or these corrections here. We could be just looking for a break. There we go. A break of this level to give the green light for, as I say, further upside there. Okay, that's Euro Yen. I was been talking about the Eurocad. Well, that's not really been going anywhere too much. It's just consolidated at this stage. So a bit of consolidation. We might see a bit more movement. There we go. Come out of the time frame so you can see very little movement. Pitching up a little bit at the moment, maybe, but that could potentially just give us, if it came back to the weekly, give me an opportunity to just look for yet another short. Okay, that's the majors. Let's have a look at Commodities Gold first, and just it's a right mess here. Needless to say, it does look like we could see a bit more buying coming through here, and a run up towards its R1. Okay, so that's certainly potential with gold. It does look like it at the moment for sure. Oil, well, oil's been pushing through yesterday, yet another near-term high. I sort of having to look out into this weekly spectrum to see what's going on here, but just pulling off a little bit the small yesterday afternoon, in the evening there, and at the moment. This sort of corrective move, it's just waiting to see if we can get an opportunity on the buy side, really. For me, this would be a market I'd look at this afternoon more clearly, but already I'm sort of eyeing up the potential of the break. Sorry, badly drawn, but a break of this sort of trend line. But just let it. If it just rolls back over some more, maybe I'll just step aside for now. I'd rather be with the major trend on this and be pushing for the long side. Okay, that's that. Now switching across to, I think we're going to have. Here we are, Bitcoin first. So yeah, yesterday the Bitcoin holders, you'll be sitting there quite happy as we're pushing up into the 58 territory, nearly. Off a little bit this morning, but again we're seeing a sort of an earlier move. If we, well, it's just looking like there's, I mean, there'll be the short squeeze going on for those that have been. Taking the other side, that no doubt will be, if they're not already out, will be being squeezed at this stage. The Bitcoin's holding up better than the other markets here, Ethereum and Ripple. Really just not going with it at the moment, so they've just sort of lagged a little bit, and there we go. All have got a bit laggy here, not really following the trip. The eyes are all on Bitcoin. Now at some stage it could see maybe a decent correction of this, so tread carefully is all I would say there. Yes, it may take out any highs, stops above the prior highs there, above that 60,000, and that's going to be a true test if we get up to that level of the strength of Bitcoin. Right, let's have a look at the equity markets, the indices then, and go across first. Whoops. And looking at what's going on, let's just check the dates here. It's yesterday's date, isn't it? 12th. No, that's today. That's fine. So selling back off again here. As I said, I'm just waiting to. I'd be waiting to for more downside on the equity markets. I've gone a little bit on the bearish side. You may have gathered if you'd been listening for most of the earlier part of this year. I'd say don't keep away. But I haven't been necessarily looking at this particular market all the year. But certainly for the S&Ps, etc., I've been avoiding the short side of things. But at the moment, as you see with the Nikkei as well, yep, had a solid up day previous day, but today already we've seen it pull back there. Looking across, what time is it? 8:04. Yeah, we can get a view on what's happening. FTSE, with the FTSE held up a lot better than the other European markets yesterday, but that's pulled back there. The DAX, well, you see the DAX it ended up higher than it closed, but it still closed down on the previous day, and it's way down at the moment now. Of course, there'll be the buyers wanting to play the gap, that I'm sure is there, but I think the risk of the gap to the upside is not as good as it once was. And you see the CAC as well rolling over at the moment and looking soft. So for me, the indices, these US indices here as well, the S&Ps selling off here, looking like they've got more downside, more potential to run back to these prior lows here at the 4276 area on the futures. Certainly looking soft. Followed with the, I mean, just looking at the wider S&Ps. The Nasdaq technical market there selling off strongly, and the US 30 there selling off as well, bearish engulfing of the previous day. So all looking rather soft, and I'd be following that flavour really. I looked yesterday at the sentiment. The sentiment's still quite soft on the equity markets there. So there we go. I wish you a great day's trading. I will speak to you in the morning. Bye for now. Oh, I won't speak to you in the morning. Just bear in mind I am actually away tomorrow, so I won't be at my office. Won't be able to put an update out, but hopefully back to normal on Thursday. Take care. Bye for now.